Hey y'all, it's your girl Mia,
And Whitney. Welcome to the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast.
where you get your weekly dose of top stories, girl talk, and everything in between.
This is where you come when you need your coffee.
But want that tea. So get ready.
Next episode starts now.
Hey y'all. What is up? It's your girl Mia.
Who is this? I forgot who this is.
Girl, I know.
What are we doing here?
Fucking hiatus. I'm from planet Mars. Apparently this is from Venus. Oh my God. It feels like it's been ancient since we've been on here, which it has been. But all good things happening. Totally excited to be on here. Yeah, I mean, so many things that I wanted to talk about that's been going on recently, but what's been up has been a lot. So for those that life has been up, class, I'm working on something really exciting. I actually don't want to share what I've been doing. Obviously, Whitney, you know what I'm working on.
I don't know.
Girl, I told you what I was working on behind the scenes. You know what I was working on behind the scenes on the side.
Girl, that was months ago. I don't know. I have not talked to Mia in months, y'all. Like, you're literally hearing us reconnect.
Girl, yes, you are. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened in my life within the last 2 months, I'd say. So we're in August? So I'd say mid-June to now. And this is a full transparency moment for our viewers. But a lot's happened. Dealing with, marriage, home life, work life, personal life, trying to juggle it all has been kind of quite the task, to say the very least. But on the flip side, things are back smooth on my side. I've taken kind of a hiatus and took a pause from things that were kind of weighing me down, and toxic energy, toxic people. So all in all, it's been quite a blessing, hindsight, but sometimes when you're in the midst of going through something, it looks really foggy, even though outside people are like telling you, okay, girl, you seem a little different. You haven't really been the same. You've got a lot going on. Do you think you should, to kind of step away? It's like, no, I got it. And then, you juggle all these balls and, one or two of them drop and it just throws everything else off. So I apologize for, taking a break. But to say the least, like I said, on the other side, hindsight, it's been a blessing. I've been able to regroup, kind of gather my thoughts. Been really sick lately, with just like health issues. Everything has been just taking a whirlwind on my whole entire existence. And so I've got something really exciting going on right now that I've been working on. I've been studying really hard, going to a few classes. So I was actually supposed to be taking an exam this week to become certified in something. And I get there, do all this studying. Needless to say, it took me 2 months to prep for this exam, only to get to the testing site for them to say, oh, our internet's down. Everyone just needs to hang out for a little second until the internet comes back on. So everyone's like, okay, cool. We'll wait a second because we've all studied. So we're ready just to unload on the computer. We wait an hour. Long story short, they send us all home, only for me to now have to reschedule for a whole nother week that I've got to it's just like, really. So I'd love to be able to say exactly what I'm trying to get certified in, but I don't want to jinx it. I kind of just want it to be over. Like I said, I've been prepping really, really hard for this.
Girl, that's a blessing in disguise, honestly.
It is. It is. I think so. Now
that's
I'm really
intervention.
Yeah, and I think I'm just looking at life in a whole different way. in a whole different new lens. Like literally when bad shit happens to me, it's not even that I'm like a victim person, like, oh, whoa, it's me. I feel like I'm very selfish. But usually, like now, how I'm looking at life is just if something just doesn't work the way that I think, like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take it, and I'm gonna see the good wherever it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna just like roll with it, because what's the alternative? Me feeling bad for myself, or just me grabbing everything by the horn and moving forward? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that is the key right there, because it's all about, it's about what you do with the little bit of choices you do
yeah,
have. Even if you feel like you don't have no choice
yeah,
in something, it's like,
because
well, how I
yeah,
react to something is something I can't control, and we
totally,
all are
totally, totally.
works in progress. But kudos to you to put in your mental health first and taking a break from everything and everybody, and just sometimes you got to do that and just get yourself back in the right mindset. So I'm sure
Yeah.
things will start to fall in place and work out, girl.
And I do want to also throw out there for the people mental health awareness, and even though it's not Mental Health Awareness Month, I really, really am a advocate for therapy. I've been going to a therapist lately, and it took me a second to find someone that I really, really enjoyed. But what I will say is that she is African American, and I love her to death, and she's really helped me with this new way of me looking at life. And it's just been really a blessing. And I encourage all of our viewers, if there are things that you're going through, and really, I don't even want to put the stigma that going to see a therapist or speaking to somebody only has to be done when something bad is happening. Like, I personally feel like you should have, someone you should talk to and confide in that doesn't necessarily know you, whether good things are happening, bad things are happening. Like,
Right.
it's just be able to just kind of, because a lot of people who are who may have a lot of great things happening, there's still some confusion within that. It's like, oh my god, I've got this project going on, I've got this project going on, like all these great things, but I don't know how to manage it. So I think that you people reaching out to someone who they can talk to, whether it's a therapist or whatever the case may be, pastor, I just think it's really healthy. And I
Yeah,
wanted to
whatever you
throw
can afford, because we know therapy ain't cheap, but there are a
therapy's
lot of
not cheap.
options now for people who
Sure.
don't have insurance. Like there's like a bunch of mental
Yeah.
health apps now, just a lot more
Yeah.
technology at our disposal that we didn't have before.
It
And
is.
it's better
I
for you to
agree.
kind of like try to get some tools to help you, because we know when we are feeling like shit and going crazy and on the verge of like
Exactly.
breaking down. So stop trying to ignore
Exactly.
it. Stop thinking it's weak, trying to get help. Do what you can for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because there's people out here really going crazy in these streets, and
Exactly.
prevent yourself from being one of them.
It's no joke. It's no
Right.
joke. I mean, it's no joke, and I think it's just good to take away the stigma of when people go see someone, you're crazy or whatever. Usually, and I
Right.
saw a meme that was so true. It was like a lot of people that are going to therapy are in therapy to deal with people in their lives who
Who
won't go to
don't go to
therapy.
therapy? I saw that. I was like, that
I
is
just
the
thought
truth.
that was so great, because I'm like, it's so true, in
Girl.
some cases. Like, I've got to just cope with what I'm dealing with, who won't go to therapy. Now I'm in therapy to deal with them. So it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my spiel, but
Well,
I'm back. I'm
I
back.
missed you, girl. Welcome back. I'm so
I miss you.
excited.
Thanks. Thanks, girl. Thank you for being patient. Thank you. I know it's a lot and try to juggle all of this and maintain. I've seen that we've got so many views on our short videos that you've been posting, and engagement.
Yeah.
So
Thank
shout out to those people that have been, our new followers, or people who have now been viewing that haven't viewed before. That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. So,
So
it's been a lot going on in the world, in the news.
there has been, yes.
Girl, just time has been flying. Our hot girl summer is damn near over.
California love moments going on, happenings in LA this week or this weekend coming up?
Oh, California Love. Okay. So that I know of, no. Okay. I don't know of
Okay.
any.
Okay.
But I did do some
Okay.
fun things around the city. Last weekend, I went to Malibu for my friend's birthday. And, we went to the wineries out there right on the water on the
Ooh.
PCH. It was, beautiful. They had a live band and fresh seafood. And, it was an
Oh
experience.
my God.
So anyone looking for things to do in LA, I would suggest you hit up Malibu, the coast. There's a bunch of like different wineries and different spots to eat. And we had a nice little bougie time.
We will, and I haven't told you this, but me, Carter, and Marlon will be in LA in 2 weeks. So we'll fly in like that Friday night and then fly back Sunday night. But I wanted to go to like Malibu, just a quick trip because we hadn't taken Carter anywhere this summer due to just a crazy hectic summer. We just booked our tickets yesterday. They were super cheap. It was like 140 round trip per person.
Okay, yes. Well, I can't wait to see y'all. I'm sure I'll be here. Yeah. I don't know what day that is, but I'm sure I'll be here.
Recent happenings in Nashville and these Music City streets, not a whole lot going on. The fair, the Williamson County Fair is happening this week. So for those of y'all with kids, it's August, I think it started August 2nd, but it ends August 10th. I will be in attendance this Sunday taking my kid and someone else's kid. I always go to the fair to eat. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Those good old funnel cakes, girl, and turkey legs. I love the fair to eat.
Nothing is
That's all
better
I.
than fair food, junk fair food.
Oh my God, fair food is the bomb. Like fair, that's what I go to fair for is to eat. But anyway, so what is the tea, sis? What are some, I feel like we have a lot to discuss just because, of the hiatus, but what are some things that.
Well, I think I'm just going to start us out right now. I want to get the sad stuff out of the way. And since you done already, we talked about mental health and all of that, it's only right that, I send out my prayers to the victims of all of the mass shootings that happened over the last few days. So there was like a major shooting in Dayton and then El Paso, the Walmart. Also, like 20 people died in a freaking Walmart. It's ridiculous. Of course, these cities were basically filled with minorities. El Paso, it's a Hispanic community out there, and it's also a few like Mexican natives because it's so close to the border. So it's just, there's a lot of hateful acts going on out here. And, I just think we got to do something as a country. Definitely elections are coming up, and I hope that everyone takes it very, very seriously this time around, because we can clearly see what could happen, with this
Yeah, yeah.
presidential campaign coming up. And I, for one, feel like the last 4 years have just been worse when it comes to the violence, the mass shootings. Like, these are happening back to back now. Like, these two mass shootings happened like one day after each other. Like, it's bad.
Yeah,
Where other
it's bad.
countries are now issuing like traveling advisories about coming to United States because we look,
Right. We
so
look crazy. We
we
look
look,
crazy as
we
hell.
look a mess. And it's just really unfortunate. You can't go nowhere now without thinking about, an exit strategy and what you're going to do if somebody start acting crazy and shooting. Like, you got to think about this everywhere you go, everywhere you fucking go.
And
And,
my thing too is like I'm trying to monitor where I go in big crowds, like whether it's a
oh,
concert
exactly.
or movies where people can just wipe you out in seconds, like those are things that I'm like, I know that these things can happen, whether it's a 1 to 2 person, um, you know, if it's just 1 to 2 people in a space, but most times these mass shootings are obviously there's a mass amount of people. So I'm like, I need to sit my ass down and just stay in the house or go.
Yeah.
You can't be a
It,
hermit, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm
yeah.
more cognizant of. Unfortunately, I have to be more cognizant of, like, okay, oh, that event is happening tonight.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
you
it's
know,
really unfortunate because especially like the most recent shootings, they really seem to be minority targeted. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it seems to be some white supremacy shit going on because one of the guys, I think the guy who shot up the Walmart was apparently like a white nationalist, or he had all of these like manifestos or some shit. I don't know. It just seems like as a minority, especially, it's like you can't even you can't even go out and be a law-abiding citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like, the police trying to get you,
right,
fucking white supremacists with guns trying to get you. Like, it's just a mess out here right now, especially in this Trump era of leadership, whatever. I just feel like everyone's
right.
very comfortable expressing their hate, and it's a problem. So
I
I don't
agree.
know.
I totally agree. It's sad, it, it's sad. It makes me really nervous for my child. Obviously, my like, he made a comment and he was like, "Babe, you're nervous or something. You're scared." And I'm thinking, like, hell yeah, I got a kid. Even if I didn't have a kid, I'd still be, fearful or in fear. But I'm just saying, like, when you have another little person to think about, and this is the world that they are growing or going to grow up in, you worry, you know what I'm saying? Not just for
Oh,
yourself, but obviously for your offspring. So,
absolutely. That's the one thing that terrifies me. That's literally the one thing that makes me feel like I don't want kids, because this world is just so crazy, and it's like I don't feel like I can protect them. Like, it's some things that are just beyond me, like this world is just sick. And I
yeah,
hope it gets better. I hope it gets better, but it just seems as if it's going to get worse before it gets better. And
I agree.
hopefully it's just not too bad. I've been watching the campaign a little bit. I see that like Bernie Sanders is actually seriously becoming a front runner again, so I think that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. um
Girl,
he's so
can I
old,
just say, I know he's so old, and can
but he makes a
I,
lot of sense though. Like, everything he says is like making more sense than Trump shit.
yeah, honestly, anybody is going to get my vote over Trump. I'm going to just be honest with you. Like, whatever candidates end up being between Trump and whoever, I do you think he's going to get reelected?
Girl, I pray not. I pray not. But I mean, ugh, I pray not. I heard they said Kamala Harris, or was she running still, or?
Yeah, they're apparently going to be doing some more debates coming up amongst the other candidates. So that's probably going to happen sometime next week or maybe even the week after. But yeah, she's still in the running for sure.
Yeah, something gotta happen because they doing these raids and now like separating all of these Mexican families, and they dying trying to get across the border, and it's just getting worse and worse. Like, I'm like, where are we? What year is it?
Girl, we are in fucking, it's just crazy.
It's
It's
a mess.
crazy.
Everything's a mess out here, and a lot of things are coming to light. So speaking of that,
Mm.
some more tea. Moving on to celebrity tea. Miss Layla Rashawn, she has been in the headlines most recently. um
Yes.
the 90s, what I'm gonna call her, she was an actress. I mean, I only really
Yeah,
know
she
her from,
was.
I know her from a
Why Do
few
Fools Fall in
films.
Love? We know her from Why Do Fools Fall in Love? We know her from Waiting to
Waiting
Exhale.
to
We know
Exhale
her
is
from
my favorite.
Boomerang.
Yes.
Huh?
Ring. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Boomerang. She had a short,
I forgot about
but we
Boomerang.
do know her from that. But yeah, she played in some other stuff too. But she's definitely a '90s, maybe even late '80s actor. Actress, meaning like she was probably, I think she was in some film or movies when she was younger. But regardless, yes, definitely an actress, retired actress. I don't know if she's still working, but
Yeah.
she's married to, what was his name? Antoine. Fuqua?
Antoine Dubois or something,
Okay.
some some fancy Fuqua, some fancy
Fuqua.
artistic name like that. He is a screenwriter in Hollywood. He is most known for like Training Day with Denzel Washington. So anyway, they have been a couple for over 20 years, married for over 20 years, very much so known in Black Hollywood. And most recently, y'all have probably seen the pictures of him that went viral, cheating with Nicole Murphy, which is Eddie Murphy's ex. Which is funny because Eddie Murphy and Layla Rashawn played in Boomerang. I'm just now connecting that. That's crazy. It's just a small world. Because I forgot
This
she was
thing
in
is small
Boomerang, but
in Hollywood.
yeah, Black Hollywood is just a little turn and a two-step. But yeah, so she got caught. I mean, yeah, Nicole Murphy got caught. It honestly looked like a setup. Like, I want to say Nicole looked very much prepared for those pictures, but she was all kissing on, Layla Rashawn's husband. And so all of that got out. And then Lisa Ray, she also commented and was like, Layla Rashawn did the same thing with her husband when she was married to her man a few
Right.
years ago, whatever. So most recently, that dropped like 2 weeks ago. And most recently, Layla Rashawn, she just spoke about the incident and said that she is happily married. So, she's saying whatever's going on, whatever pictures y'all saw, it doesn't matter. It's 20 years and she's still happily married. So she has been like radio silence on the whole thing. She had actually deleted her Instagram when the pictures had first dropped. But, she came out with that statement like, everything's good over here. We still married. So I don't
Yeah.
know. That's the update there.
And I also feel like, too, what made me uncomfortable or what was really weird was some of the comments that were being said that, side by side pictures of Lela Rashawn and Nicole Murphy. Obviously, Lela has gained a lot of weight since her debut and her roles in the 90s, early 2000s. But
Right.
apparently, regardless of the reason why she's gained weight, whether she just enjoys, eating or, she does have lupus apparently, whatever the case is, whatever her prerogative is. My thing is Halle Berry got cheated on because, people, they're basically saying, he cheated on someone that looks like Nicole Murphy. Ladies, like, make sure you stay in shape type thing. And I just hated that because you have Halle Berry that got cheated on and she's fucking beautiful and skinny. Beyonce got cheated on. Hell, Nicole Murphy got cheated on and she looked like that. So, with Eddie. So, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that we've got to move away from the reason why a man or woman cheats and it's because of the other person. No, you cheat because it's selfish and you're going to do it regardless whether,
Right.
because we all know
People are
somebody
stupid as
who,
hell.
and my thing is, if you are with a Halle Berry, we do know those guys that will cheat with somebody who looks like Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it's not always you're with a Halle Berry, you're cheating on somebody that looks like a Halle Berry. Like, I'm
No.
just saying, there's really no real reason, especially
Mm-mm.
as it relates to appearance, why we should be placing the blame.
It's just because, period, women are just overly analyzed in this society. And then as soon as you start to age or whatever, it's just like, away with you, throw you away. Like,
Expired, you're spoiled milk.
exactly. A woman is always expected to like keep up her appearance, do this, make sure you don't gain weight, make sure you got your hair done. It's like you are supposed to keep up with yourself as you grow older. As with a man, they don't have those same expectations. They could literally get a pot belly and lay their ass on the couch 7 days a week and they still gonna cheat with whoever they want. It's just a twisted
Exactly.
society thing. It's unfortunate. It's fucked up. Women just really can't win in today's in today's society, especially dealing with like plastic surgery and shit. And we've already touched on that in our last episode. So,
Right. Have you
but
seen the show Euphoria?
oh yes, Euphoria. It was great. It was a great
Girl,
um
I love it.
it was a great new little series. I think I just finished the finale because it just ended,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. I did. It was really good. I
Yeah.
my friend Ashley, Ashley, she told me about it. She was like, because I was like, what shows can I watch? I'm getting bored and, I'm sick and I'm laying in the bed or whatever. And she's like, why don't you watch Euphoria? And I'm thinking like, and at first, the first episode was kind of like, it was good. It was really good. It grabbed me. But I was just kind of like, I don't really want to watch teenagers right now. Like I want to watch something, but started watching more, obviously, and everybody's character started to develop and things like that. I was like, oh my God, this is such a good show. It's really good acting. For our viewers that don't have a clue what we're talking about, Zendaya, is it Zendaya or Zendaya?
Zendaya, I believe.
Zendaya, she's so she is the lead actress in the show, and it really kind of surrounds her life and then her peers. She's in high school and she's a drug addict, and she's not necessarily what I would consider a recovering drug addict, even though she continuously tries for periods of time to, get help, go to rehab, things of that nature. But she finds herself, in situations right now. There's a transgender on there who's a really great actress. And then just the whole cast is really good. It's so many different storylines within the show that really are just amazing. And it comes on HBO on Sundays. It's wrapped up, like Whitney just said. The season finale happened last Sunday. But for those of you who haven't watched it, going on demand, it's really, really a good show. So
it's amazing. And shout out my boo Drake for being the creative director on that.
Shut up! Really?
Yeah, this is his show, girl. He's like the
is this a show? Oh my God. Okay, I didn't know that. Wow.
he's like the
Okay.
executive producer and part
That's
creator.
really
And,
good.
he has an amazing acting resume for those who don't know and didn't grow up on Degrassi like myself. But, he's been acting, and I can really see that Degrassi in this new show Euphoria, because Degrassi is about all of the inner relationships between adolescents and teenage years and shit like that, but it's a continuing story. And with this show ending, like the last episode, the finale, I literally have a million questions about the next season, so I'm sure it's going to be around for a long time. So y'all should definitely check out the episodes available.
So good. It's
Probably
so,
on
so
demand,
good.
or
Yes.
you could probably watch a bootleg too, like I do, but
Fire Stick, on demand, shoot, all of it. All of it. YouTube, Amazon, all of it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of good shows out recently, because I got on Euphoria, and the last season of Orange is the New Black it's been all right.
Okay.
And what else? Power is about to come out.
Oh,
So
I'm so excited. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, Greenleaf is about to come back. Greenleaf on OWN.
Okay. See, we out here. All these Black shows. We're out here.
Yes.
So
Support.
all right. So let's see, what else do I have for you? Oh, did you catch Lion King or no?
I did. I saw it. Yes, we did see it.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you like it? I didn't see it, but
I didn't like it I honestly didn't like it as much as the first one. Like the first one is hands down one of my favorite cartoon movies. So, The Lion King, this remake I'll say it was interesting. So it wasn't
yeah.
bad, but to me it wasn't it I don't want to say that
I heard it was like National Geographic.
It is. It was.
And there was
It
no emotion. So nobody cared. Like when when his daddy died and stuff, when Simba's daddy gets pushed off the thing, she was like, I had no emotion. Like nobody cared.
Yeah, I can see why people would say that. Yeah, for sure. And
I said it was
just weird. And then Beyonce, to me, I love her, and I'm probably gonna get so much flack for this from the B fans, but whatever. I mean, I'm a Beyonce fan, but she's not the best actress, right? And then on top of that, her voice to me didn't even care. Like,
it didn't fit. Did it not?
It
like,
just didn't.
fit?
Yeah, so I don't know. I just really and I hated how they kind of made the movie about her, and I don't know. It was just, if I had to rate it from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I'd give it a solid 4.
Wow, and that's coming from a Beyonce fan. That's
Hmm.
crazy. But that's how I
But
felt.
that's
That's why I didn't
mainly
watch it.
from the whole movie, though. Like the whole movie, not even really Beyonce, but just like the whole movie. I could have really done without it.
Right. They shouldn't have fucked with the original, honestly. It was clearly just like a money grab situation.
Hmm.
Like they knew people were
Yeah.
gonna show up and show out. So, you
It
know.
was just, it just was weird. The National Geographic thing was just weird. It was just weird. It was
That's
weird.
what I heard. But I had to ask you about that and I hadn't talked to you. And I was just like, I wonder how she feels about um that. And then also her album that she put out. It was like an Afro.
I have not heard that, but I've seen reviews
Okay.
of
I
um
surprisingly I like like 3, 4 songs that are really,
okay.
but it's like a 20-song album, and then some of it is just like I guess some of the excerpts from the movie. But this is clearly just like a money grab situation. I don't know if Beyonce, Destiny's Child did just have their 20-year reunion, and so I'm
Hmm.
not sure if Beyonce is kind of just looking at it like, okay, I'm getting older, like how many ways can I just like cash out? You know what I'm saying? Like on
Right.
everything, because I heard like a Destiny's Child reunion is coming, and then this Lion King thing. I was just kind of shocked she was even like involved in this, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, she's gonna make a lot of money.
Hmm.
And the
Hmm.
Netflix thing, Beyonce don't even like to share her life, so it's just like I just feel like she's really just trying to milk it because she's about to be 40. So it's just like
Yeah.
I just feel like she's
Yeah.
trying to get everything she can get, and more power to her.
Yeah. And
So,
I mean, I heard I heard really the best movies to take, and they're really, really lucrative, are the cartoon Disney, because really you can show up to work in your pajamas and all you're doing is your voice. You know what I'm saying? So I've heard that
yeah,
from actors and actresses.
yeah,
They would say, like, if they've done a cartoon type movie, they're like, that you get paid really well, and I get to show up to work in my PJs. I just
right,
have to, my voice just has to be on. So with
yeah.
that being said,
But
she's probably trying to,
but it's like you still got to be able to act, because I can
you
tell like
do.
when you can't act and you're
You.
even doing like a voiceover.
Well, see, that's what, and I guess that's what I was saying about Beyonce's voice. It was like, to me, even when I've seen her in acting roles, they're usually a stretch. Now, the one role, and so therefore, The Lion King, her voice, I was like, ugh, she fails me with her voice. But, um, like, ugh, like I was thinking maybe if we don't see her, well, her voice will come through. But to me, it just didn't work. It didn't
Are
hit
you
the way
saying
that I.
that Beyonce's voice has changed? Because I just read something or saw something on YouTube that was like Beyonce's voice has changed, and it had all these
I don't know if
examples.
it's changed. It's just um,
Because you're
Beyonce
saying
can't.
her voice didn't come through, like you mean like
I
on
mean,
the
I'm saying
song?
like her acting through her voice, like you mentioned, like even though you are a cartoon or we don't see you, you still need to be able to. Your voice has to be able to still act through emotion, through ranges or whatever. And to me, she fell flat with that.
Got it. Okay.
Do you
Okay.
know what I mean? Like her voice didn't
Right.
come through, meaning like her acting. I probably should have said her acting didn't come through based on her
Yeah.
voice. But
Yeah.
but now the one role that I've seen her in that she really nailed, or she did really well for me, was Etta James. I forgot
I
what,
was gonna
I don't
say
know
that
if
too. That was her best
that was
one.
a really, really
That
good
was her
role
best
for her.
one. Yeah.
But to me, again, that was more in her lane too, because she's a singer. So
Exactly.
she it's not too far of a stretch. Like, I know she played a crackhead, or at one point Etta got strung out.
Damn. Etta was, she was
Yeah,
on
she was,
some.
so she had a yeah, so she had to tap into that too, and I thought she did really well. But in general, I'm okay with Beyonce just being a performer.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, me as well. Me as well. But yeah, shout out Beyonce. That's huge. Epic. Go see
Yes,
Lion King if y'all
as
haven't.
more money, honey. Get it, get the
Yeah.
bags, get the bags.
I didn't even want to watch it bootleg, so that says a lot.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Well, there's that on that.
I'll just keep my memories of the good Lion King, okay? Um,
Yes.
all right. So yeah, the tea. I think that's about it for oh no. I have to tell you about this. I know you saw this. I'm disgusted to
Ooh,
even mention this, but it has to be mentioned. Did you see the cucumber party that went down in Atlanta with Alexis Sky? And I think they saw like Reginae there after she just went on this long
no.
rant about the cucumber challenge being disrespectful. Did you
Oh
see all that?
God, no, I have I've been on social media, but it's been more so browsing, and I did see somewhere someone saying something about a cucumber or something. But
Oh
I've seen
Lord.
going on, but I didn't know that
Girl.
there was an actual cucumber
Oh God.
party.
It's a hot
So
ass mess is what it is. So
explain this mess.
oh Jesus. So just when I thought I couldn't be more disgusted with this generation, I was like, oh wow, I'm more disgusted. So okay. There was a challenge trending social media, like all of these other silly challenges. And this one involved women taking cucumbers and basically showing their skills of giving head, fellatio, whatever you want to call it, slobbing down the cucumber, spitting on the cucumber, just doing all type of pornographic shit with the cucumber. So this went viral like all over the internet. And then it was all these celebrities debating about the cucumber challenge and it's disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. So in the process of this, Reginae, Lil Wayne's daughter and Toya Wright's daughter, she went on social media and posted that she just thought it was so disrespectful and degrading for women to be a part of that. And she actually had saw her boyfriend like liking or commenting on one of these videos, these cucumber videos. So she like went off publicly. So anyways, like fast forward 3 weeks later, Alexis Sky, who is known for what is she? Is she Bow Wow's baby mama?
Who?
Alexis Sky. No, she's Future's baby
No,
mama.
that's Fetty Wap. That's
She's
Fetty
Fetty Wap's
Wap's
baby
baby
mama.
mom. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop in a long time, y'all. So forgive me. So Alexis Sky is Fetty Wap's baby mama, and she's like social media famous and all this. So she's dating this new rapper who lives in Atlanta, and threw this huge cucumber party. So literally, the day he had this cucumber party, every rapper, every celebrity in Atlanta, every social media thought, whatever you want to call him, Instagram model, was posting this party. And it was just a bunch of cucumbers, a bunch of strippers or porn stars. And literally Alexis Sky got videotaped penetrating a stripper in her vagina with a cucumber. And like spitting on it and then sticking the cucumber into the girl's mouth. And so all of this went viral. And in the midst of all of this, Reginae, Lil Wayne's daughter, and Tiny's daughter, Zanique, they were shown like in the background of the party, like walking across the back of the party. And so
Mm-hmm.
social media got a hold of this and was like, oh, Reginae, you so pressed. You just went on a whole rant, but yet you're at this disgusting cucumber party. It's degrading, blah, 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 blah. We're seeing girls getting penetrated and all this shit with cucumbers, and you're a part of it. And so Reginae gets on social media and she leaves this whole video and she's like, look, yes, I got caught going to this party, but I was literally just stalking my man because I know he was at the party and I was trying to see what he was doing at the party. I don't believe in the cucumber challenge. And when I saw what was going on, I exited the party. So this cucumber challenge has just been like a debate basically about morals and about how no one has any anymore. And women will do anything to go viral or get attention on social media. So it's
Oh
disturbing,
my
disgusting.
God.
For the sake
Oh
of
my
God, don't hashtag search cucumber challenge because you're going to see all types of shit. So,
girl. And this is why my son, he's like, everybody's got a social media account. No, I don't give a shit. Like, you don't need one right now.
right,
As long as I can control it, I'm
girl,
going.
as
I
long as
know
you
that there's going to come
can.
a time where he's going to create a fake one or whatever the case is. But as long as I can
Mhm.
control it for as long as I can, he's 10. I'm going to. But I don't want him seeing anybody sitting on cucumber. I don't want our are
It's too
produce to
much.
be questioned in this
It's,
household, I guess is what I'm saying. Mommy, cucumbers, that's the cucumber challenge. I don't want them to
yeah.
know that yet.
And these kids are, they're not immune to seeing it because it's all over
No,
social media. And it's just, there's not a adult Instagram and a kid's Instagram. It's just one fucking Instagram. So
it's
they have
just one
access to
fucking
all of the
Instagram.
fuckery.
Oh my gosh, it's just it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
It's unfortunate. These people ain't got no morals. People ain't got no damn morals. Um,
Girl.
so this brings me to a question I want to bring to you. This is a debate right now, and this is
Mhm.
a question that has been brought up because, due to all of these videos arising with kids and teenagers not having respect for themselves and women and blah blah blah. And
Mhm.
now, what's becoming more of a trend in parenting is social media almost shaming your kid. So there's been a few videos to go viral with most recently like a girl who was her mom caught her with an Instagram account, and when she checked the DM she saw that the girl was sending nudes of herself to some boy. So what the mom did, she went live on the girl's Instagram account, basically shaming her out in front of all of her friends on Instagram, calling her all types of whores and thoughts and all types of shit. The girl was crying, her daughter was crying, and then the mom went as far as to show on live the nude pictures that the daughter took. She exposed her own
Mm.
daughter on her live. And so there's been this debate, and there was just like, yeah, well, this is the new form of punishment, and it's just as toxic as beating your kids. And Black people don't know how to discipline their kids. It's either embarrassment or it's abuse. And now it's just this grand debate on how parents are disciplining their kids in like this social media world.
God, yeah. Disciplining your children, I think that this whole thing with um the way in which we discipline or decide to discipline our children has gone a little far. By all means, do what you do. I'm a parent and I would hate for someone to tell me, how to do anything with my child, especially if I feel like it's not coming from a good place. But I mean, listen, I whoop Carter. There's levels to it, I think. Disciplining your child, especially, if they, I don't know, if they raise their voice or if they, steal a item of clothing. Like there's a difference in levels in which you should punish your children.
Right.
Um, so that, fine line between abuse or being over the top, and then now your children are afraid of you versus them you instilling fear to a certain degree of like, okay, I'm still the authoritative and you are the child.
Right.
Um, because I even am cognizant of one day Carter's going to be taller than me. He's already damn near my height. When you see him in a few weeks, if you're able to, like, you're like, damn, Carter's damn near my height. Like, so there's
Wow.
going to be a time, probably in 13, 14 maybe, when, certain things aren't going to work anymore. You know what I'm saying? Me being
Oh
like, hey, go
yeah.
get the belt is not going to work anymore because he's going to be bigger than me.
Right.
And, but there are things that I feel like should happen along the way. Your child does get to a certain age. It's still like, oh, my mama ain't going. Or my daddy, shit, yeah, nah, I gotta find, if I do this, I gotta think real hard before I do some shit that gonna get me fucked up. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, but sometimes I do think a lot of times now we either take it really far, meaning we like are beating our children, or we're trying to do things where we're embarrassing them, putting it on social media, things like
Yeah.
that. Versus actually trying to teach them a lesson. You know what I'm saying? In the level in which that the offense was made.
That shit is
So
foul. I just feel like everything is not for social media. And, like
it's not.
family shit is sacred. Like if you're gonna be my
It is
family and my parent, you should not be parenting me on social media and disciplining me on social media. Like
right. And
that's
that
just
does
like
more
you're for
damage.
clout. Like you're trying to get clout,
Yeah.
and go
And that's going
viral.
to do more damage to your child. It's going to do whatever the opposite that you're trying to teach the child. Because now they're not in trouble with just you, but now they've got to be looked at from the world view. Because God forbid, like you said, this story actually gained traction. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what that kid, not only did he receive, you know, reprimands from at home, but now he's getting probably teased or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like double time. So you just have to be cognizant as parents. And I feel like not everybody should be parents. I'm going to be just quite honest. Not everybody need to be out here having kids.
Yeah, people just don't need to be having kids. And it's
Some people just
becoming
really
like
don't need to have kids.
a theme, like, because
Period.
right after I saw that viral video, I saw Shade Room posted some dad who was going in on his daughter and basically calling her thought too, and said she had multiple boyfriends and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know why parents continue to handle like a child being sexual as like that's when you need to talk to your child. That's not when you
Right.
need to condemn them for having sex and being a human.
Publicly shame them.
Yeah, even in
And
private, like thinking your child's automatically a hoe or whatever because they got caught having sex. It's like, you need to ask them, you need to talk to them, and you need to explain safe sex and all of that shit. Like, once that's happening, it's happening. So this child is human or whatever, but it's like you trying to act like they're going to lose their sexuality because you shame them. That's just going to go the
right.
exact opposite. Like, what do
Exactly.
they
I
say about
agree.
preachers' kids and stuff? Like, they be the main ones. Like,
It's right. That's right. You've got those kids. Listen, I grew up with several of them. They'd be those same ones leaving the house in one outfit and backpacks are bulky as shit. And they go to school changed to something different. So, it's you it's just crazy. Some, like I said, it's just idiots. And that for that same dad that's doing that, now you're drawing, again, it's having the reverse result of what you're trying to prove. So now those that know your daughter are going to be all up in her DMs trying to holler at her because you calling her a thought. So they're going to try to shoot
exactly.
their shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I
Exactly.
don't get that. Like, people don't think that far, which I get. We all make mistakes. We don't always think them through. But when it comes to your children, you
Mhm.
really do have to spend that extra time to decide, okay, how is this going to make my son look, my daughter look? How is this going to make me look? Like, what is the goal that I'm trying to teach here? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and do you care? That's the first, like, do you even care? Because that dad to me shows that he just doesn't even give a fuck.
He
It's
don't even
like,
give a
whatever.
fuck. Like,
Don't care.
circle back to what you said. Everybody not supposed to be having kids. Like, y'all don't
Everybody's
have
not
to
supposed to
have
have kids.
kids.
No,
Goodness.
no, you don't. You don't have to. And even if you did have them, there are other options. You can give them away. You can, there's plenty of people that have trouble having kids that would love to raise like, seriously, don't, let's be smart. Let's be smarter. But I feel like everyone's getting dumber, so I can't, look at our world. I have some black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Yes.
So I saw, and you probably saw this, the black guy in Galveston, Texas, was arrested. This black guy was arrested in Galveston, Texas, for trespassing. And the cops, um, instead of the cops, I don't know, transporting this man in a vehicle or whatever, they put him on a leash as they're walking him through the streets on horses. And since then, the Galveston Police Department has issued a statement basically apologizing. They, said that this is some form of a trained technique and best practice, but they did say that they used poor judgment and they could have waited for, a car to transport this man from where he was to, jail or wherever they were going to take him. But yeah, I thought it was crazy when I saw it, and I'm like, do they really have this man on a fucking leash? Like, really? Like, how just inhumane and embarrassing I mean, you know, we hear these stories all the time,
Yeah, I
but,
saw
you
that
know,
picture. It looked like a
yeah,
damn flashback from 1912.
girl.
It looked old and racist as fuck. I'm just so done. I'm so done.
So sad. And, you know, the guy's sister-in-law, she, you know, she basically put out a statement too. And she was like, you know, he's mentally ill. He's homeless. And he always gets arrested for trespassing. So this is beyond her because, you know, he's on a fucking leash. It's just sad. It was just really sad. And it made me sad. But,
It's
you know,
sick.
it's sick. It's just sick. And
On top of that, they're riding those damn horses. Why the fuck are y'all still on horses?
I know. I
Like,
know.
I'm so over this. It's
I
clear
know.
that they're racist, right?
It's just bright. It's bright as day. Listen, it's bright as fucking day. So yeah,
Pathetic.
and yeah, it's just crazy. So,
Wow.
um,
Wow. Wow.
did you hear? I know tomorrow the movie Brian Banks is gonna come out. Did you hear about that movie?
What's the movie called?
Brian Banks.
Ryan Banks. No, what is
Brian
that?
with a B. Brian Banks. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Brian Banks.
Brian. Mm-hmm. Yes, Brian Banks. So, okay, so he essentially was a young man at the time in high school, I believe, who was falsely accused of raping a woman, a classmate, and he had to spend 6 years in prison over it, basically. And apparently why the story was so fucked up is because, per usual, it's usually something wrong with the judicial system. The courts didn't have evidence. They didn't have any DNA. You know, it's really a case where the judicial system really failed this young man. His own attorney failed him by not doing his due diligence. Apparently the lady that said that this man raped her, she changed her story so many different times. So it was kind of like, okay, which is it? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so he spent 6 years of his life in jail, only to come and find out when he got out of jail, the woman, she wanted to meet up with him basically to say, all right, let's let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's, you know, not realizing that, okay, if you're falsely accusing me and I'm convicted, which he was, not only going to be registered as a sex offender, but it's going to be hard for me to get a job, XYZ, whatever, right? So after he gets out of jail, this lady, she wants to kind of have a kumbaya moment with him and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. It was a bad night. I thought it was you. Not even I thought it was you. I falsely accused you of raping me, just because it was easy to do, you know, and I just wanted to pay for it. He recorded this particular he had with, and then turned it in, only to find out, you know, in the state of wherever this was, like, that, you know, false or taping somebody or recording somebody without their knowledge. At the end of the day, they had protests for this young man. Case ended up getting thrown out on a technicality. I forget why. But yeah, so he was exonerated from all of this. He was then signed to the Atlanta Falcons for the NFL. So, I mean, this story ended up being a good ending. But needless to say, it's just a classic case of, you know, someone being falsely accused, doing the time, paying the crime, and, you know, they've made a movie about it, which comes out tomorrow. Sherry Shepherd, she plays the mother in the movie. So
Wow.
I hope to have some time to go and see that between tomorrow and next week sometime. But yeah.
Wow. I haven't heard anything about that, but that's what's
You
up.
hadn't heard anything about that? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
So
I mean, Sherry
yep.
Shepherd's huge though, so you know,
Yeah,
obviously they have
yeah. So
names in it.
mhm.
I will check that out. Well, I so let me talk to you. I was going to introduce a new segment. You know, we've been asking for people to write us and email us their questions. And since
Yes, we have. Yes, we
it's
have.
been about 2 months since we been on here, so we actually did get
Yes,
some questions in 2 months. So I was gonna
yes.
read those questions. I just sent you one of the questions, and then I have a question. So should we do that now, or should we
Okay.
do teabagged and then
We
that?
can do the tea bag at the end. We could do the tea bag at the very, very end.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I guess I'll read my question. You want me to read my question first?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Read the question that you picked first.
Okay. So this girl April, she puts, shy in bed, she titles it. Hi April. So she says, I'm not really a shy person, but when it comes to sex, I have a really tough time letting go of my inhibitions. I am embarrassed to show that I am enjoying sex, and I'm self-conscious as well. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend of 5 months told me that he feels we have a sexual disconnect. He thinks that I don't enjoy sex with him because I show no emotion. This is seriously threatening our relationship because he truly feels that he can't please me and will never be what I need. I haven't been able to convince him that it isn't him, it's me. He is heartbroken about it, and this has really hurt him and his self-confidence. I'm wildly attracted to him, and he just doesn't believe me when I tell him this. I don't know what to do or how to fix this. Help. Signed, Shy in Bed.
Hmm. Hold on. So
Hmm.
she says she's attracted to him, but
Hmm.
he doesn't feel comfortable having sex with him?
I thank you, April, for your question.
Yes, April. Thank you,
As I
girl.
know, you are probably not the only one going through this or have gone through this. So thank you for sending in that question. Yes. So to your point, Whitney, yes, she does mention she's wildly attracted to her man. And she is not a shy person. However, she's having a really tough time kind of, of her ambitions and her sexual freedoms in bed.
Hmm.
Um, Now, there is kind of a two-part to this for me. Like, in one regard, she says she's not shy and she is attracted to him. So this could be, what I would consider one of two things. Either he is still all of those things, right? He's great, very attractive, whatever the case, you're attracted to him, whatever the case may be. Um, However, sometimes it's not enough for a guy to just be one thing or the other. How I am with, and this is, prior to me being married, but how I am with one guy may not be how I am with the next guy.
Right.
Um, and that's okay because, some things you may do with Jim, you don't want to do with Bob. Bob may be, who you just do this with, and then Jim may be who you do everything with. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the level of comfort you have with that individual. Now, I do agree,
Yeah.
and I do believe that this particular guy may not be that guy to bring that free, you could just kind of do whatever you want to do within the bedroom without you feeling like he may look at you some type of way. Because I also feel like in sexual experiences that you have with people, which is like a soul tie, I feel like in some instances or a lot of instances, there is like this unspoken language between, which I consider that chemistry, between you and another individual where you are able to be free. And it's not a conversation like, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think about it? It's more so, as you're in the moment, you start to just try different things because why you're comfortable with that person makes you want to try new things. So to answer her question from my point of view, I think you have to ask yourself, is this that? Is this that? Is this, is it enough for me to just be attracted to him, even though I'm not a shy person? Or is there something going on with me and I don't want to be looked at a certain type of way? Or maybe it's I'm insecure about my body, or I don't want to feel like he's going to judge me. Like, you've got to kind of ask yourself those questions. Is it him or is it truly me? And then I think you'll find sort of peace within that. But yeah, girl, life's too short to kind of be tense and pent up and all that kind of stuff. I say if you want to let go and let free, do it. But I do think that there is someone out there for everyone who allows you to be free without feeling like you have to be shy or be judged or, that kind of stuff. What do you think, Whitney?
Girl, from what I heard, maybe I didn't hear this right, but from what I heard, it sounds like she is with a man that she is not showing any emotions to. So it's like that seems to be her choice. Like, he hasn't brought that out of her. It sounds less of her being self-conscious and more of her not being like connected to him is what I feel, because she was like, she's not showing any emotion, and he takes it as, oh, she's not interested in him. But it's like, why
Mm-hmm.
aren't you showing any emotion? Because most women, if you're truly into your man, you're gonna show some fucking emotion. So I don't know. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's a
Well,
question
and
more
she
so for
also says she's
herself.
self-conscious too. She does say she's self-conscious in here.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
which, to me speaks to, kind of it being a her issue. But then again,
Uh-huh.
I I say again, certain people bring out certain things in us, and that chemistry can't be taught. It can't be, I
Yeah,
can
and
teach you.
that's how I feel about
Yep,
it. Is it's more
they
so
have no
like you got to
chemistry.
ask yourself a question, because like you said, chemistry can't be taught, none of that. So
Yeah,
are you just delaying the inevitable and trying to make this
right.
seem like it's working for you and it's really not?
True.
Your body's not like
Mm-hmm.
playing along with you. That's what I
Right.
ask myself, because believe me, girl, I feel you. I lost my virginity really late, like in my 20s. So like it took me a really long time to let my guard down and find a person who I could connect with and trust
Mhm.
and feel
Yeah.
comfortable enough to have sex with and
Yeah.
do crazy things. So it's just like, you can't really lie to yourself about stuff like that. It's either you
Right.
got it or you don't. So
That's true. That's true. Nope,
I
I
just want you to
agree.
keep it real with yourself, girl. Keep it real with
Keep
yourself.
it real. Keep it real, honey.
And keep it
Time
real with
waits
your
for
man,
nobody.
because
Yeah.
it's not fair to have him thinking that he's not pleasing you when really,
Right.
there may be a disconnect. So,
Right. 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 I agree.
all right. So of course you would pick the sexual question. I have a
Of
question that
course.
I picked.
Okay.
So this is from Birthday Girl. It says, "Hey BCT podcast, my 30th birthday is coming up, and I'm planning a huge girls trip with my closest friends. As always, I expected that, some people would be unreliable and drop out of the trip, because that's usually how it goes with Black folks. But out of the 6 people I invited, only 2 people actually paid the deposit to book the trip.
Oh.
This hurts
Mm-hmm.
my feelings, because my best friend backed out again, and I always make the effort to attend her events and trips. Plus 30 is huge, right? Either way, I'm going to have a great time. But am I wrong for being offended by this?" Signed, Birthday
Mm.
Girl.
Shout out, birthday girl.
Birthday Girl, that is such a good question. That's like
That's
so relatable.
cute.
We
That's
all
so
have been there
relatable.
with the
Mm-hmm.
trips, and you'd be like, "Oh yes, girl,
Mm-hmm.
17 people are coming. We're renting a mansion, blah 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 blah." And then a week later, that shit drops down to, "Yeah, girl, it's 3 and a possible. We're gonna get a
Girl, you
1 bedroom."
whew, we all have been there. We have all been there. I don't care if you have one friend or 20,000 friends. Like, we all know a situation how this plays out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. This is a tough one. Um,
I don't
Let me
know,
see.
because
So I would say, first of all, this is your 30th birthday. It's pretty big. It is. It is. It is. You didn't mention like how much time or notice you gave people to
Right.
like book it. So I'm just going to assume, you know, people had enough time to make this part of their plans. But I think that you should try to at least be fair to your best friend and tell your best friend how you feel. So if your best friend does not come to this trip, I think it's at least fair to say, hey, girl, you know, I have made an effort to come to, you know, your events and your trips. What's up? Like, what's going on? Is it money, or is it, you know, you just, it's not important enough? Like, what is it? Because if you don't,
Right.
you're gonna like hold a grudge and become like resentful, you know, against your best
Yeah.
friend. And if that truly is your best friend, then you should be like open and honest about that. Now when it comes to like the whole girls trip and it going from 6 people to 2 people, I would just say, girl, call that a blessing in disguise, because the less people, the less drama, and it's better to just know up front, okay, what you're working with and who actually got the money. So, you know, it's good that you even had a deposit, because sometimes people back out last second and then you're stranded. So at least you know what you're working with now, and you can just plan for a really good trip with, you know, the 2 friends that could go. And I hope you do have a great time.
I agree. And I couldn't have said anything additional better. I mean, you know, girls'
This has
trips are
happened
just
to you, right?
always.
Has this happened to you before, where you had a trip and people backed out?
Yes, I yes, it has happened. It's actually happened twice. Um where I've had people that, you know, I thought were near and dear to me should show up, especially, you know, in the initial planning. It's like if you take a trip just you and someone else, it's like, oh girl, let me know when you take another trip, because da 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 da, because, you know, God forbid you don't invite them on another trip, because it's like, you know,
Right.
why did they get an invite? So when you do finally say, hey, I've got something coming up, it's a year out, it's 8 months out, this is where we're going, this is how much it is, yeah, then when the money is due, it's like, well, so like you said, be grateful that 2 have booked and shown up. Now the best friend thing, I totally get it. I get it. I don't think that she, correct me if I'm wrong, Whitney, I don't know if she went into detail as to why the best friend couldn't come.
No, she just said she didn't
So,
come to the last few
yeah, so
events.
I think that since it's your best friend, you know, figuring out why she can't come, if there's, you know, if it's bills, if it's like life, like a, you know, something like that, then obviously, you know, we all should be understanding to people's situations. But I do get that the importance of having your best friend there, especially on a significant trip like the one you're about to take, can be hurtful, or you can feel some type of way. So that's happened to me before, like I said, not once but twice.
Right.
So
It happens.
um
And
so it
also,
happened.
like, stop going out of your way for people. Like, go to events
Yes.
because you want to go to them. So, like, don't keep
Yes.
a tally. Like, oh, well, I went to your event, so now you got to go to mine. It's like, you're going to be
Yes.
disappointed if you do that. So, it's like, if you really
Yes.
want to go somewhere, just go because you want to go. Don't go expecting
So
someone's going to do the same in return. Because if that's the case, just
life
don't
it's so life is generous, and if you're given the opportunity to go, just go. You know, like you said, can't wait for everybody.
go. All right.
So I agree. I agree. Great
Yeah.
questions. Oh
Thank
my gosh, keep them
y'all.
coming, you guys. Thank you so much. We really got an overwhelming response.
Girl, it was like 6 responses, but only but some of them weren't even like questions. They were just saying they liked the show or whatever. And then somebody wants to be on the show. We got a response from an artist out there who wants to actually come on here. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
review this artist with Mia, and we'll see if she's worthy of coming on the Black Coffee and Tea podcast. But in
Yes.
the
Yes. Yes.
meantime,
Yes.
y'all, thanks for your support. Please, if you want to send us a email a question to us, our email is blackcoffeeandtea312@gmail.com, or you can DM us at BCT Podcast.
And I will say
So,
before we go, my tea bag of the day are going to be all of the crazy, insane people that are doing all these mass killings. I hope that the booty goons come and find you and just like seriously teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
So you definitely should be teabagged. That is going to be my final verdict on that. So
Yeah, teabag y'all, motherfuckers. And I just saw a quote on Instagram that was like, white supremacy is not mental illness. Okay. So it may be some form of mental illness, but that we're not going to call all of these white supremacists and white nationalists. We're not going to say they're just mentally ill and that's why they're going crazy. No. Okay. America has a sick problem and it's called racism and we need to fix it. So
we have got to fix it.
Yeah. Teabag all the racists.
That was easy.
I'm going to teabag your teabag as well. And then I'm also going to teabag all of the participants in the cucumber challenge. I don't know who raised y'all, but you're disgusting.
Yes.
And have some class, show some class, get in a class, do something with your life.
And do not show your ass.
Please. We have really got to the point where people are sticking produce items that y'all probably didn't even rinse and wipe off inside of your vaginas for the camera. Get your life.
Licking ice cream tubs and putting them back in the freezer.
Yeah. Like, oh, I saw that. Sickening.
Sickos.
Just disgusting.
It's just sick.
This is how dumb society has turned into. I can't, but God bless them.
Good stuff. I have missed you, Whitney. I've missed our viewers, and
yes,
I am excited about all things that are going to be coming. We need to just record when I get there too, since I'll be there. Do another one face to face. Yes.
Y'all, thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.
Please subscribe. Please share. Please follow. Please leave us a review on iTunes. Also check out our YouTube, the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast, available on all streaming platforms, and at BCT Podcast on Instagram. All right.
There you go. Bye, guys. Until next time. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast, available now on iTunes, Spotify, Souncloud, and YouTube.
And if you want to be a part of the BCT fam, make sure you follow us on Instagram at BCT Podcast.
Until next time.